And welcome back to the channel. Now today we are in Richmond Park to do the part 2. So episode 5 was part 1. This will now be part 2. And there wasn't an episode last week. Now last week we were in Weymouth, which is in the south of England, I believe, close to Dorset, or I don't know if it's classified as Dorset, but we were there for our friend's stag. But I did record some bits. So in this video, you're going to see that first. We were aiming to try and get some oyster catchers. I won't spoil it for you if we got them or not, but you'll see that first, and then we'll come back here to Richmond Park and record part 2. And then at the end of the video, you'll see the recap of all the birds we've captured so far. So from this episode all the way to episode 1, we're going to recap everything. So if you are new to the channel, this will be a great way for you to catch up on all the birds that we captured for our UK bird challenge. And yeah, but I've just come into Richmond Park now, and the first bird I saw was a kestrel, and it was perched up on, I don't know if you can see, like that tree here, this one. Oh, this one. And there were some chicks calling. I've tried to scan the tree, but I can't see any crevices or holes that the chicks may be in. So I don't know if it was just there perched and I heard something else, but my Merlin app wasn't able to pick up the calls of the chicks, so not too sure. But yeah, we'll keep moving. But yeah, enjoy the video. I'll now pass you on to Weymouth David. Peace. Welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see by the background, we are at the beach. We're in Weymouth, which I believe is in the south of England. Now, I'm not sure if this will be in episode 6 or if this may never see the light of day. We have come to Weymouth for one of my friend's stags, and as everyone is sleeping, I've chosen to come down to the coast. It's about a 20-minute walk from where we're staying, and it is quite nice, quite peaceful. At the moment, I think we're in between low to mid tide, if I'm not mistaken. And from what I've seen, low tide has already gone, so there isn't any birds here that I wanted to photograph. I was trying to see if I can capture some oyster catchers and some other bits and bobs, but that's neither here or there. We did get a picture of I believe it's called a rook, if I'm not mistaken, and so we add that one to the tracker. But I'll pop the picture up now. But yeah, so we're gonna be here for a while. Today's our last day, and we're gonna leave around 3 p.m. It's currently 8:08. So there is a waterfall, I believe, down that side. So I'm probably gonna make my way there, see if we can find maybe some birds there that I haven't shot yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me show you the view I'm rocking with. So this is where I am. Very rocky. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's a little ingret or a great white ingret, but I've literally just stopped here, so I'm gonna see if I can try and get some shots. Editor David here. So while I have this drone footage playing of our time at the coast in Weymouth, I ended up realizing that I didn't capture any video or behind the scenes of me actually taking pictures of the birds that I did capture. So I'm going to pop the pictures on now so you can have a look. But yeah, I do apologize, and hopefully next time I do a better job. But back to the video. I don't know if you can hear it. That's a kestrel, it's literally right in front of me. It's gonna fly over me. Oh no. Right there, there's another one right here. There's quite a lot of kestrels here, so I'm gonna... There's literally... I think I've seen, well, 100% 2, but I think potentially there's a third kestrel around here somewhere. But today's plan, what's on the agenda? So originally we were trying to come here to photograph skylarks. Now, skylarks are red listed birds here in the UK, and the numbers are declining. So I thought it'd be quite cool to document that I wanted to come here around 4:30, sunrise around 4:44, and just put myself in a position where I can be at a good distance from the birds, but still allow them enough space to be able to, to do their morning songs. So that was the original plan, but I overslept. So our backup plan is to go back to the ponds. We are going to try and get some Egyptian geese, because we don't have those birds and they're quite common here. And we're also going to try and photograph, I believe they're called sand martins. I may be completely wrong, but I'll double check and I'll put the name here. But yeah, we're going to try and photograph those. Now, because I've come to this spot, this is right outside Richmond Gate entrance. And there's quite a lot of activity in terms of the kestrels. I think I'm going to stay here for a little bit and see if I can actually get some really cool shots. So it's quite open here. If I just show you guys, it's quite open. So this is prime hunting for kestrels. Now, in episode 4, when we went to Bushy Park and we got the videos and photos of kestrels. I believe in the last episode I said that I got it wrong, and it was a male kestrel. I'm actually going to recorrect myself, and it was actually a female. So male kestrels have more of a greyish head and then a brown body, or like a beige body, whereas females are pretty much beige all over. And going back to the video, it was defo a female kestrel. In the picture that we took, it kind of looked like it had a greyish head, but I think that's just the way the sun was reflecting off the feathers. So yeah, but we'll see if we can get, I know their nest is around here somewhere and they're hunting, so yeah, we'll have a look and see if we can get some cool shots. But yeah, it's quite active, and then we'll spend a little bit of time and then we'll head over to the ponds. I see 2 birds in the tree in front of us. I believe they're jays. I'm trying to get a little bit closer. It's eating. Yeah, so I want to position myself where the background looks nicer. Oh, if they would both turn around. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we are making our way down to the ponds. Let me just switch hands. We ended up seeing 2 jays. They were feeding, and we managed to get what I believe is a cool shot. The way the sun was hitting and the way the background's blurred, I think it looks really cool. Now, whether it looks cool or not, well, then that's a whole nother story. We'll see that when we go back home. But this area that I'm in, there is a lot of birds here, and I don't know if I should wait here for a little bit longer. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a squirrel. I think that's a squirrel. It looks like a squirrel. But yeah, and maybe I'll stay here for a little bit longer. The ponds is literally just, if I turn the camera around, right here. I don't know if you see that bit of blue. That is the ponds. So we are quite close. Yeah, so maybe I'll relax here for a little bit. See if we can find something. But before I do, take a look at this tree right here. And how cool of a perch is that tree? If a bird just perches on that, oh my god, that would actually look so cool. But yeah, let's stay here for a little bit and then head down to the ponds. I don't even know what time it is. It is 9:31, so still got quite a long time. Not really sure how long I'm going to stay here today, but that's okay. But yeah, let's see what we can capture.
Yeah, pretty grown up now for real people.
Okay, so I've arrived at the pond. Maybe been a bit in here for 5 minutes. There's actually 2 ponds, so there's one where I am and there's another one on the other side. And I saw a few people on the other side looking at what I thought were just gulls, black-headed gulls to be precise, because there's quite a few of them here. And when I came to this bench and had a look through the camera, it was actually a common tern. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So that's another bird for the challenge. We don't have that one, and actually it was quite cool because it was somewhat diving, and just before it hit the water, it would like break and then just pick off. I believe it was dead fish. It might have been something else, but that was quite cool. So at the moment, there's not much here. There's some Canadian geese, and then there's some great crested grebes. But we're going to head over to the other pond and see if there's anything else for us to capture. Okay, we have come to the bigger pond, and to be honest, apart from what I believe to be a juvenile Mediterranean gull, there has not been much here. There is, well, I can see from here the Egyptian geese are all there on the other side of the pond, so we'll head there. But honestly, there's not much here right now. So we'll head to the other side, we'll keep it moving, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, there's not much happening right now. And it also looks like it's about to rain. So yeah, maybe it's better if I go underneath a tree. So yeah, we'll do that. Also, just FYI, I am using the Action 5 on top of the camera today. I didn't bring my chest mount, and I kind of regret it. So next time I'll bring my tripod and I'll bring my chest mount, just because this is constantly facing the ground because my camera's on my strap, which hangs from the side, and it's always just looking down, so it's not fun. At least with the chest mount, it's constantly always looking forward, so if something does happen, it can somewhat capture it. I don't know what these birds are. Okay, so my Merlin app has just picked up a little owl, and you see here the one with the red little circle. It says it's rare, which I thought Richmond Park was known for little owls, so I'm not too sure. So it has to be around here. We didn't end up going to the other side of the pond just because when I turned around, I saw there were some whitethroats. So we ended up getting some pictures of those. So I think today this episode probably has no structure, but there's a little owl here somewhere, and I don't know where. So the mission is to find the owl, find the little owl. No owls, unfortunately. I've looked on every tree, every crevice I could find, and nothing. The app also picked up a red black star, I think that's what it's called. And yeah, apart from that, we didn't really get many other calls. So can't give up yet. We can't give up. We can still get this. So, but it was quite interesting. The app stated that the little owls in this park are quite rare. Now, from my research, they're not the most common of birds, but they're not as rare as I thought they would be. So I may have done wrong research, but been actually quite enjoying. If you see like these little beds of, not sure what these bushes are, but you see quite a lot of songbirds on there. Okay, so I have left the woodlands that we're in. We're currently in another woodlands right now, and I'm hoping potentially we hear an owl, but I'm okay if we don't. I think this, of course, this is the nature of the game. Sometimes you get an extraordinary amount of luck, and sometimes you don't get anything. But that's bird photography for you, and I'm actually quite happy with the pictures that we've got today. It's just I wish we got that owl. So I'm probably going to stay here for about another hour and a half, and then I'm going to head back home, because I am, as I said, I'm quite tired, and it's been a very long week. It's raining, as you can potentially hear. So yeah, I'm going to head home. But a few things I learned today: to always carry my chest mount, and to bring my tripod and leave the monopod for the football games that I take photos of on the weekends. And yeah, I think that's the best. It allows me to make it easier to capture B-roll and when I'm shooting, when I'm not shooting. Second, I thought I'd give you guys all an update on what's coming up with the channel, but also a few things. We are changing our upload schedule. Let's walk this way. We're changing our upload schedule. We're now going to be uploading every Friday. So this video will still come out on Monday, but the ones after this one, so episode 7, will now release every Friday. So there will be a 1 week gap in between. This will just allow me a little more time to make sure the videos are up to a good standard. And if I have any errands to run on Sundays, I'm actually still able to edit the video on time and upload it on the scheduled time that I've actually wanted to upload the video. At the moment, we record on a Saturday, we edit on a Sunday, we upload on the Monday. But that just isn't realistic at the moment. And plus the videos are getting longer. I'm trying to include more things, trying to up and learn video editing and YouTube itself. And I'm just not giving myself enough time to be able to do that. So yeah, so videos will now come out every Friday at 7 p.m. GMT. We are also only going to be doing London locations now until the end of this month, so end of July. After that, we'll be heading to a few locations outside of London. So we'll be heading to Bridport in one of the episodes, so Dorset, coastline, and we'll be also heading to other few places to be able to capture and open our little bird horizon. And then in September, we'll be heading to the Philippines, which I think is going to be so cool. As you can imagine, what birds you can capture in the Philippines. So yeah, I'm actually very excited about that. So that'll be a bonus episode. My plan would be to record a few episodes during August as I'm on holiday, which is why we can go outside of London. And record a few episodes and start scheduling them in. So when we're off to the Philippines, you guys will get uploads also with a bonus episode while I'm out there. So yeah, thought I'd just give you a quick update. Honestly, don't know where I am, so I'm going to stop here, check my maps and see, and then start heading back, and hopefully still have an opportunity to find an owl. Okay, so that was technically the end of the vlog. And before we get on to the recap, I just want to say thank you for everyone for supporting the channel. I know this video was a little bit unstructured, it was kind of messy, but thank you all for watching. So let's start off with the recap. We're going to start with episode 1 and then trickle all the way down to episode 6, which is what you're watching now, and we're going to recap all the birds that we have captured so far. So with episode 1, we went to St. James's Park, and here we caught 3 birds. Our first one was the grey heron, which was a great experience. We got really up close, which was really cool. We then ended up finding a parakeet, well, 2 parakeets up in the nest on top of a tree. This is a photo that I still want to get a better photo of. Sorry, this is a bird that I want to get a better photo of. So I'm going to be, if I get an opportunity, definitely going to be focusing on getting a new photo of the parakeet. At the end of this episode, we ended up going into this little alleyway that had a bench on it, and someone had left some seeds. This made us get an opportunity to take a picture of a robin. It was really cool. There was a robin and some grey tits that came to feed on the seeds. Didn't manage to get a picture of the grey tit, so that's still something that we are trying to get. Episode 2, we ended up going to Walthamstow Wetlands. I believe that's in East London, and this was a great day. It was a long day, but a great day. We ended up getting a lot of birds and starting to pick up some traction. So we got the tufted duck, which was really cool. I still want to get a picture where it's more portrait-like, really up close to the camera. So fingers crossed I can hopefully get that. We ended up trying our first bird in flight shot, so we got a picture of the black-headed gull. Now we have captured some other pictures of a black-headed gull, which I think for the overall challenge I will replace this one with. We ended up getting photo of a magpie, which quickly perched up. I was really lucky to get this, as it didn't really last that long on this branch, so this was really cool. Next photo, we got the mallard. This was really cool, and I didn't really know that the pigment on his head is fading, and that fades after mating season, so that was pretty cool. We got the comrade. There was quite a few of them, but I managed to get this one. I think this one was my favorite, and if you head over to my TikTok, there's a real funny video of that as well. Great crested grebe, and was really cool. I still want to get a photo where I'm more eye level. This was a little bit higher up, but this was a really cool shot. And then the mute duck, which was the last bird of this episode, which was really cool. Quite a lot of birds that we captured in this episode. I think it was 7 in total. Episode 3, we did 2 locations. We did Millfield Nature Reserve up in Basingstoke, and we also did RSPB Rainham Marches. I believe that's the exact name. But this was, the Rainham Marches was the best thing that I've ever experienced. So the first 2 birds, so the Eurasian collared dove was in Millfield. This was really cool. Didn't really last much long because there was a few dogs there, so it scared the birds away. And we also got a house sparrow as well. These were the only 2 birds out of all the birds you're about to see for episode 3 that we got in Millfield. It wasn't the best episode, and I didn't really upload it until I mixed both episodes together. So in Rainham Marches, the little grebe was one of the first birds that we got. Really cool to experience this. There was a few more chicks as well. And then what I believe to be the best moment of that episode was a little egret. Watch the full video to understand how we got this photo, but amazing shot. Again, trying our luck with birds in flight. This one's a little bit out of focus, but I got really happy with it. The colours on the back of the feather kind of look like a face, which I think is really cool. Chiff-chaff, there was quite a few smaller birds in this area, but we ended up getting a chiff-chaff, not many of the others. We also got a dunnock as well. This was really fast, so I had to crop in a little bit for this one, so the bird is somewhat out of focus as well, but I was really happy with the overall shot. And then we got the Eurasian wren, which was really cool as well. This one, I was literally chasing it for so long because I was trying to catch the mosquito. Okay, so with episode 4, which is my favorite episode so far, and in terms of engagement, it has done the best on YouTube, and it was just amazing. So the first bird that we got was a great spotted woodpecker, and this, with all these birds, please go and watch the videos because you get the full experience. But this was my best photo I've ever taken. A jackdaw, we ended up getting this because they were really close to the calf, so they were coming a lot closer, which made it really easy to blur out that background. We then got a green woodpecker. This is one photo that I want to replace. Hopefully I can get a better one. It looks very robotic, like it's not an actual bird, but happy. We got coots. Really like this photo. I really like the colours. I like the mood of it. It is one of my favourite photos up there as well. And then the best moment, I wouldn't say the best shot, but the best moment of the episode was finally managed to get the kestrel shot, which was really cool. Episode 5. So episode 5 we headed to Richmond Park, and this wasn't the best of episodes, coming from episode 3 and episode 4 when we had a lot of traction, getting a lot of cool birds. This episode was a lot quieter, but we ended up focusing on more common birds. So our first bird that we captured, or our first duck, was the Mandarin duck. This was really cool. This is a female. The males are more colourful in oranges, greens. It's really, really, really nice. But we got this one. We also got a blackbird, which is another photo that I want to replace. Don't really like the photo, don't really like the background. I find it really distracting, but this is something that we're looking to replace. Song thrush. This was really cool. They do like this little hop, similar to magpies, which is quite cool to see. And then just a Canadian goose, Canada geese, which was a really nice shot here. So that was episode 5 in Richmond Park. Episode 6 we ended up visiting 2 locations. So one of them was Weymouth. We were there for our friend's stag, so we went to the coast for a few hours and we took some pictures. We also did a part 2 of Richmond Park where we were focusing on skylarks, but unfortunately due to my poor planning and not waking up on time, we actually didn't get there in time to photograph them. So the first bird that we got, and this was in Weymouth, we got the rook. There was so many of them here, and this was the first time me actually seeing one. I love the white part of the beak. I think it looks really cool and looks really menacing. We also ended up getting an oystercatcher. Now this was really lucky. The Merlin app on the phone ended up hearing them, and I didn't even see them until they were flying in front of me, so I was really happy I caught that. We got a crow, which was cool. Again, there was a lot of crow-like birds in this area, so this was quite easy to capture. And then we move on to Richmond Park. So our first bird that we have is the jay, the Eurasian jay. This is also part of the crow family, which is pretty cool. And this shot I really, really like. And then we ended up heading to one of the ponds, and we saw a common tern. It was just scooping down, feeding on the surface of the water, which was pretty cool. We also got a whitethroat as well, and also a stonechat as well. So with a stonechat is a bird I want to replace, as I think the shot I had to crop in quite a lot, and if I pull any more of the blacks, it just looks really washed. So I'm gonna try and replace that one as well. And that is all the birds. So we're currently on 34 birds, which I think is quite good in 6 episodes. Now, moving forward, when we do recap, so the next recap will be episode 11. So episode 6, 11, 16, and so forth and so on. Would you guys want it to be a standalone video? So just one video of me going over the birds, maybe some B-roll of the that I've captured, or stay how it is with this one at the end of the videos? But would you like music over it, voiceover? Which one would you prefer? But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, anyways, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.